Karma simply means that for any action, even for an inaction, there will be consequences. This is what keeps things fair and sane, and the world chugs along merely. If this was not the case, when the husband asks his wife, "Honey, what are we having for dinner?" she will have to say, "No idea, darling. I put rice in the cooker. God knows what we will get." If you put rice in the cooker, you will get burnt rice, cooked rice, or undercooked rice for dinner. You will not get pizza, at least not from the cooker. This is karma. Some karma is realized quickly, other karma takes time. Plant coriander seeds and you get leaves for a tasty chutney within 2 weeks or so. Plant a mango tree and you have to wait for a 5 year or more to begin to enjoy all that summery goodness. Karma also means impression. Do you have the habit of having coffee every morning? Having coffee every morning, day after day, for years on end, will kind of make a figurative groove in your consciousness. You will have developed coffee karma. Some actions have to be done consistently over time to see results. Lifting a few weights in a gym for 3 days will not give you huge biceps. You will need to work out consistently, and only in time you will see the differences. Similarly, if you have been doing bodybuilding for a prolonged period of time and created a fantastic physique for yourself, you will not suddenly deflate if you don't exercise for a month. This is why it's so difficult to suddenly give up on that coffee. However, no karmic effect is indefinite. In time, the consequences of any action will dissipate. Even a huge boulder thrown in a lake cannot create a waves and ripples forever. In time, all the disturbance will subside. Your actions create consequences not just for you but for many around you. A doctor saving a life of a man will affect that man's entire family, his business, and all who come in contact with him. Just as your actions affect many people around you, others' actions can affect you too. The threads of karma are deeply intertwined and get supremely complicated exponentially. We are all bound by karma. If you give this a thought, you will realize how karma will automatically give rise to the concept of reincarnation. If you do something in this lifetime and happens to die before facing the consequences of that action, then it's carried forward to your next birth. That's what keeps things just. People lament their destiny. When you begin to understand just a little about karma, you recognize what's happening in your life is not just stuff ordained by some higher power, but by yourself. You have created your own destiny through your karma. The higher power is just there to make sure you cannot escape from your karma. Think of rice pudding, boil rice in milk. Add sugar and you get some yummy kheer, as it's called in India. At this point, you have many options. You could add more milk to liquefy the consistency and lessen the sweetness. You could add more sugar. You could add vanilla essence for a European flavor or saffron for a more Indian taste. You could add dry fruits. I could go on and on, but you get the point. What you cannot do, however, is get the original rice back. Once the rice is boiled, there is no way you are going to get the raw rice back again. In much the same way, there are consequences of some of our actions that we simply have to face. Nature in her wisdom created a loophole, exactly the way we could modify the kheer through our current actions. We can modify the consequences of our past actions as well. Say because of some terrible stuff you did, a stone will fall on your head. This is fixed. The stone will fall. There is no way to escape it. However, if you have been a nice person, helping people, doing meditation, making a positive differences to yourself and those around you, the stone that falls could be just a tiny pebble. You may not even notice it. And if you have been nasty, well then the stone could turn out to be rock, possibly hurrying you into the next birth. with at least this bit of karma neutralized. Because you did something really nice, you may have the destiny of winning a lottery ticket. This will not change. You will win that prize. How much though is again going to depend on your recent actions. If you have been a good person, you may win in lakhs and crores. If not, you may win 100 rupees. Your actions right now will affect the fructification of your destiny. Nothing is ever fatalistic. Everything is always fluid. Think of being inside a circle. There are infinite number of points inside that circle, which means at any given moment, there are an infinite number of actions available to you. There is an even bigger infinity of points outside that circle. This signifies that there are myriad actions that are simply not available to you at a given moment in time. For example, if you are in Bangalore, physically disappearing and suddenly appearing in London is simply not possible. It gives you infinite freedom in a limited frame. The supreme illusion of freedom. Knowing this, think of the best possible illusion of reality you would like to create for yourself. Your actions right now will take you towards the fructification of your dream within the grand dream. You anyway have to act. Choosing not to act is an action as well, and that will create its own consequences. You might as well act and move towards creating the nicer illusion for yourself rather than getting stuck in the illusion that you are in right now. Because until you are enlightened, all these illusions feel really real. Enlightenment, what's that? For an enlightened master, there is no circle. No karma touches him, though he will pretend there is. And it does. He willingly steps into the illusion so he can lead us out of it. Just in case all this is true, be nice and act. Those stars await you. Thank you. Take care.